Ohio, it's your Strawberry Fairy Tsukiju, and I'm back here to bring you guys another dope video. So let's get right into it. After doing some research to get some information about the Ashlee, Janea, and the Joe Mccann incident that happened in Zanzibar, I came up with a poem, and I would like to share it with you guys. This is a serious situation, indeed, but I kind of made this poem sound kind of funny. But just hear me out. All right, here it goes. Ashlee Janea wanted to be a star for her B-Day. She went to Zanzibar with Joe, who is full of tar. Proposed to Ashlee, who was found hung 11 hours later. And them say she did it, which is very bizarre. But many others, including myself, believe the true unaliver isn't very far. So people are claiming that she was either sacrificed, which is what I'm kind of leaning more towards, because of a lot of the signs and symbolism that have surrounded this whole incident. But people are also claiming that he possibly, being Joe, did it because maybe he had an insurance policy on her or something. But I feel like that claim is being shot down, considering if she were to have done that to herself, then she wouldn't get any money as far as insurance goes. I don't know how much of that is true. I didn't do further research on that. But nobody believes that she did this to herself, because of how violently that is to do to yourself, like compared to like poisoning yourself, you know? People were pointing the finger at Joe. Reasonably so, because I mean, if you just look at them, and I'm not saying, you know, interracial couples don't work out, because that's a lie. But they just don't look like they go together. That is all I'm really saying, because a lot of it has to do with the age gap, for one. For two, people were, you know, doing some digging, and they came to the conclusion that, you know, from her past posts, maybe on Twitter, Facebook, or some social media site, where she was spilling some tea about her personal business and where she works, and people were claiming she was a stripper and they met at a strip club or something, and maybe he was her sugar daddy or something like that. And that is more kind of believable to a certain extent. But people were also looking at some past posts of hers where she was, you know, like, you know how some of these interracial couples are, like, for instance, that African dude, he was saying some stuff about black women, and then, you know, his preference ended up unaliving him, and she's the one, I can't remember her name right now. I feel like her name is Sarah for some reason. I don't know. But she was up in that courtroom, like, making all these, like, faces where she was, like, sticking her tongue out, and she was, you know, making a mockery about the whole thing, basically. And so people are, like, kind of comparing these two, and how she was doing the same thing that he was doing online. Like, basically, just how am I trying to put this? Trying to basically, like, But basically, she was saying a lot of disparaging, hateful things towards black men, and in a way, like worshiping Brad. Because though her friend came out and said, something along the lines of her not just wanting to be with him for his money, but if you really look at them, it just tells a different story to me. And they say that the eyes are the windows to the soul. And you could just look at this man's eyes, his squinty little eyes, and you could just tell there's something not right. A lot of people these days, they want to portray themselves of being a certain way, like they're living this certain lifestyle, like a soft life, as she wanted to put it. Ashlee wanted to live a soft life, right? But you see where her soft life got her, you guys? Let's be so for real. There's things that people hide very well because they want people to believe that they're living a certain way that they really aren't, for clout purposes, for money purposes. And people are speculating him to be having money problems or something. But then when I seen her in a video, Ashlee with Kevin Gates, Kevin was making it seem like she had all this money. But now guess what, you guys? Her folks are asking for money for a GoFundMe for her funeral. Where is Joe? He ain't got the money? This whole situation is very, extremely fishy. But it's not over. He may be arrested, but we're going to find out how much power he truly has in Zanzibar. Because it's just it's extremely suspicious that, they had this whole argument at the hotel, and they were forced to separate because of this whole blow up that they had after getting engaged. And it's just like nothing is making sense about all this. So when we get some more information, y'all, I'll be back with it. When I get some more information, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back with the tea, and hopefully it will be that Joe is in jail. I can't blame black men for how they feel as far as the things that Ashlee said about them. But I also don't think it's right that these guys had some type of premonition and felt the need to speak it into existence, because that is actually a thing. And I seen a video on YouTube from TikTok where if a lot of people put this energy into a certain thing, speaking it into existence, it can possibly come true. And this has happened to me multiple times. And I believe that that could be what happened to Ashlee, possibly. Also, I believe that this all could be a test, because you don't normally see black women commenting stuff like that under couples, like saying like to a black man and a white woman, like, oh yeah, she's gonna unalive. You don't see that. I don't personally see that happen, and I'm not gonna be one to go under anybody's comment interracial and say something like that. Oh, she's gonna unalive it. Because like I just said, if you are powerful enough, if God gives you that power, this could very well be a real issue. Like, if people are speaking things into existence, you guys, we have to stay prayed up out here, y'all. This is not a game. This is not a joke. because this is crazy work. But yeah, y'all, what are y'all thoughts about all this? Please leave it in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Till next time.